Welcome back to another video, and today we'll explore 5 more side projects that can help you build your cybersecurity skills and give you some great talking points during your next pen test interview. We'll be focusing on projects for pen testers today, but if you enjoyed the video and want more ideas for other areas of cybersecurity, then let us know down in the comments below and we'll be sure to get right on it. Pardon the interruption. This video is sponsored by GlassWire, a network monitoring tool for those looking for improved security and network management. It offers detailed real-time monitoring of network traffic along with historical data, enabling you to easily identify applications and processes that are bandwidth intensive or unusual. It also provides an intuitive firewall that features a straightforward interface for blocking unwanted connections and enhancing your security. You can monitor bandwidth consumption over time and have the ability to set usage limits and of course receive alerts. There are a bunch more features such as application and device monitoring, privacy protection, and all of this comes with minimal impact on performance, but I also wanted to add that everything is tied together nicely with a user-friendly interface, making it easy and accessible to all users even when interpreting the data that's being presented. Try GlassWire to start shedding light on your network traffic today, and of course there is a link in the description below. As always, if you enjoyed the video, then don't forget to like and subscribe, and let's dive in. Our first project today is going to be setting up a honeypot, and to begin with, we can use a cloud service or something like Amazon's free tier to spin up an internet-facing server. This also means if the server is completely compromised, we can just shut it off and we don't have to worry about intrusions into our home network. So what is a honeypot exactly? Well, it's a decoy system that is set up to attract and detect threats. And it's a good project because it's going to require a variety of skills and is pretty flexible in terms of how you want to build it, what services you want to deploy or mimic, and how you want to monitor the honeypot too. You'll also get real-world hands-on experience seeing how attackers behave and can consider how you'd like to deal with them whilst keeping your service alive. If you're just starting out and you don't yet have the time or skills to build a honeypot from the ground up, you can start with a pre-built project and get to grips with deploying it, monitoring it, and then look to expand or enhance it later on. If you're already familiar with setting up services and creating services and deploying agents for monitoring and so on, then building something custom from the ground up would be quite a large project, but likely very rewarding. Either way, over time, you're going to have a lot of choice when it comes to where to take this one, and once again, depending on where your focus lies, you can work on what's important or interesting to you. Now, the next one doesn't have to necessarily be BugBounty related, but if you're working on multiple pen test targets or splitting up your testing, or maybe working on a target long term, then it's definitely worth being organized, and that means building an application that fits your workflow. You can integrate checklists, payload generators, application mapping, and really anything else that you might want or need. So this is a great side project, not just because of its flexibility, but you're going to get a real feel for the end-to-end process from testing to remediation and having a single place to track everything. And this is going to give you the opportunity for some real insights and analysis. Reflecting critically on your work is actually quite tricky, and having reliable data to analyze makes this much more effective. And if you're building it as a web application, you're also going to gain some real insights into how web applications are built and how their weaknesses arise. In my opinion, everyone should try and build some kind of web application at least once. There are so many lessons and insights to be gained from this kind of project. And to get started, first what I do is outline some key features that make it usable, like a minimal viable product, and then pick out a technology stack that is suitable for the project or something that you're already familiar with or that interests you. And after that, if you already have some development skills, then you can jump straight into building, but otherwise look around for reputable tutorials and documentation that you can use to get started. Now, we can look for a project that might be potentially useful to an employer and shows that you can not just carry out a single function as an employee, but also enhance and automate tasks and processes, meaning that your contributions to the organization are going to be even more beneficial than potentially other candidates. Creating a report generator or converter that takes your notes and results from tools and puts them into a report format or dashboard for review is going to save you a lot of time. This project emphasizes the importance of clear communication and documentation, and also helps everyone who uses it stay on track with things like formatting, again saving you and your team a bunch of time, and there'll be less back and forth with minor changes. Now, of course, there are some commercial tools available to do this, but the main point behind it is to build skills and give you something to talk about in your interview. So whilst you might not end up using the tool that you've built in a commercial setting, it's going to give you skills that enable you to troubleshoot or enhance an existing tool. So to get started, once again, we can decide what the key features are, consider the workflow and how flexible we want it to be, and then look for the most suitable technology for implementation. And after that, we can jump in, build the project, and then either continue to add features or refactor things or improve it over time. Now, I think I already mentioned this earlier in the video and probably in many other videos and also my training, but I honestly believe that if you want to get good at web app pen testing, then doing a little bit of development is going to be really beneficial. Now, what if we don't have a particular idea of the application that we want to build? Then what we can simply do is build a capture the flag challenge and either push it to GitHub so that others can download it and try it, or submit it to something like TryHackMe as a room. Either way, building CTFs is a lot of fun and can really help you understand vulnerabilities and the contexts in which they arise. We also have a lot of flexibility in the technology stack that we want to use and the types of vulnerabilities that we want to plant inside of them. We could focus on vulnerabilities that arise from simple misconfigurations or ones that appear in poorly written code. It's totally up to you, and to get started, all we need to do is choose a theme, have a reasonable idea of the path or the vulnerabilities that we want to include, and then start building. If you're going to build something for TryHackMe or another platform, then it is worthwhile reading the guidelines ahead of time, just in case you use an OS or something that is not accepted or compatible. Otherwise, you should be good to go. Our final project is working on open source applications, and we could go down the route of pen testing against open source apps, or we could simply look to contribute to them. Once again, doing some development work is really going to enhance your skills and help you develop an innate ability to consider what's happening under the hood and test accordingly. The best way to get started is to check out projects that are available on platforms like GitHub and try to familiarize yourself with the project's codebase and check out the contribution guidelines, and then just get stuck in. It can be a little bit intimidating at first, but once you get started, you'll find that most communities are welcoming and appreciate the effort and support you're giving them. And that's it for this video. So I hope this helps you get started with your next side project. And of course, if you have some ideas that I didn't mention, then leave them down in the comments below. We live stream every week, so of course feel free to swing by and ask any questions that you might have, and our Discord community is always open to new members, so if you're on the lookout for like-minded individuals, then that's the place to be. Catch you next time.